everybody. Welcome to the lovely Fairfax, Virginia. You are looking live at another edition of Redskins Relaunch. My friend, hey, look, it feels like forever since I've seen you guys. Thank you very much for joining us again for a lovely evening. Look, we've got a lot to talk about. It's going to be a crazy 24 hours. It's already been kind of a crazy offseason, kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit. Definitely been a crazy week for the Washington Redskins as they prepare for all of the hard work that they've done from last August. This is off the field, obviously. Last August up till right now. Scouting, looking at thousands of hours and minutes of tape, videotape on, several hundreds, maybe even thousands of college football players. And it all comes down to tomorrow night, the NFL draft. What are they going to do? Are they going to trade up? Are they going to trade down? Are they going to pick a player at 15? Are they going to pick that player at 15? We'll get to that later on in the show. Also coming up, Mr. Doug Williams spoke earlier this week at Redskins Park. I was there. I got a chance to hear from him and what he had to say concerning, the Redskins preparation leading up to the draft. We'll play some of that for you later on in the show. Also, the Redskins are kind of like in that just right position. Not too high, not too down in the NFL draft, which kind of means that they were obviously average this past regular season. But they're in a position where they could, if they wanted to, they can trade up using some of their picks in the later rounds, or even including a player that's on the current roster now in order to get a player that they truly, truly want. Or they could trade back, accumulate players and or picks, and possibly be better off for it. We'll get to that later on also in the show. Why trading up is good, why trading down is good or bad. We'll go over that. Plus some other players that are trending up and down from what some analysts have to say as far as where they should go, where they could go. Why are they going down? Or why are they going up? Why is all of a sudden there's a wave of such and such player A going up and down the line? We'll talk about that. Mock draft are the best drafts. If you follow me throughout this DMV stream and throughout Redskins Relaunch, you know my stance on that. We'll also talk about some of the best Redskins draft picks of all time, maybe even draft classes or draft moves. We'll talk about that later on in the show. Plus, the schedule is out. I had not had a chance to talk about it with you guys yet, but I wanted to get your thoughts and as well as share some of my thoughts on this year's schedule as far as, where you think some of those wins can come and where they probably won't come, if you catch my drift. Also, we got to talk about the Caps. Game 7 right now. Don't flip the channel. Just stream me here and then watch whatever you want. You got two eyes. Use them. You have two eyes. Use one over here on me and then use the other one over there on whatever. We'll get to that later on in the show. Russell Wilson, my man, salute to you. You've been killing it on the field, off the field. We'll explain why. Plus, like I said, we'll update the Caps and the Nationals. They're truly average. Truly average. And it stinks. But first, Redskins relaunch. We're on the clock. At number 15, again, right in the middle, not too high, not too low. What to expect with that? There are other teams that are behind them that may want to trade up to get somebody at 15 because somebody's falling fast, which you could, that could be the case for a quarterback. You never know. Or a receiver or a lineman. So Redskins are in a not a bad position, so you can see where something good may come out of being at number 15. We'll see about that. Like I said, in just 24 hours. What should the Redskins do with this pick? What is their biggest need? That is the million-dollar question. What is the biggest need on this team? Obviously, you have you're like Doug Williams said earlier. Defensive line is probably where you're, where it's at right now. Maybe not. What happens if, Jonathan Allen was hurt the 1 year and then all of a sudden everybody started gashing the Redskins, rushing wise in 2017. So we shall see. But, is it quarterback? Is that the position of biggest need for the Redskins? Is it receiver? Is it defensive line? Is it corner? Is it offensive lineman? What is the biggest need? What position do the Redskins need as of right now? What should they do with this pick? That is for Doug Williams to let us know. Derek is the man over there hitting the switches. Thank you very much. We have accumulated some of the things that Doug said on Monday to media at Redskins Park. We're going to play just our first snippet for you right now.
We got the 15th pick at this time, and there's 14 teams in front of us. And you don't know what's going to happen. Things happen that you don't expect. I go all the way back to the Jonathan Allen draft. I think we got it as close to right as the way we see it as it's going to be. There's not a whole lot that can be done that hadn't been done already. So that's where we are at this point. You know, we needed a quarterback, and we was able to trade for Case. But that does not put us out the rim of picking a quarterback if it's one there that we like at 15. It all depends on the board, who's high on the board at that particular time. If that quarterback is the highs and we got to pick, 9 out of 10 is going to be the quarterback. But if it's not, that's a discussion. Everybody's now on the same page all the time, and that's where talking it out and discussion comes in and that. And we're still at that point talking about the guys and where you feel. You know, when you got 18 to 20 guys in a room, the chance of 18 to 20 guys feeling the same way is slim and none. And we had those discussions. I think when you look at our team, just about every position on our team is up. It all depends on that player, no matter what position you play. So I think it'd be unfair just to label one position that we set. I think I can go on the limb. It's one position that we say we feel pretty good, but that don't mean we won't draft one, and that's the boys up front on defense side of the ball. But if there's a defensive lineman in the draft in the right place for the right price, that's a possibility to add to the young guys that's already on the team.
All right, you heard Doug right there talking about the defensive line, and you know they give them credit for the status that they have reached. I wouldn't necessarily call it status, but they've played well. They have potential there, so you have to give them credit for that. But there are so many other holes, as even Doug mentioned, that are with this team, so you don't know where you're going to go. So with that said, I mean, do you end up trading up? Do you end up trading down? What are the pros and the cons to doing either or? As far as the trading up, you know, I guess the pro is that you really, really like a player. So you're really committed to that player, and, you know, this player should be good moving forward. And, you know, it means hopefully that you're getting a good playmaker, and that's one thing that Doug did say. Like, you're going to need a playmaker. No matter what, you're going to need somebody that's going to make plays. Okay? You're going to have to get that player that's going to get you a first down on the 3rd and 10, who's going to fight for 5 extra yards and not get hurt or fumble the ball, which, you know, has been so Redskins over the past 20, 25 years. You know, the cons are, what did you just give up to move up? Okay? Did you just give up, you know, your 15 pick and a second rounder? Again, this is a team that has a ton of need, not as many needs as some of the other teams in the league, but nonetheless, this is a team that does have some holes to fill. You're going to have to find, if you do trade up, again, you're giving up assets. The name of the game at this point, after the season is done, is getting and gaining assets in order to make your team better. And trading away players in order to get just one player. You know, you need more players. You don't need less. You don't need just one player at one position. You need several at several positions. Now, mind you, trading up, you hopefully are getting that playmaker that you so desire. So, you know, again, there are some pros and there are some cons along with trading up. All right, let's do this. We're going to get to pros and cons of trading down, which, you know, we'll get to that later on. Plus, we'll be joined by a special guest. That and more as Redskins Relaunch continues. I'm your host, Winston Hilton. Get at us. We're on Facebook right now. We want to hear your questions, answer to some of our questions. Number one, what should the Redskins do with the number 15 pick? Trade up, trade down, make a pick. Who should they pick if they have that pick? And also, another question I just put out there on Facebook. Would you trade up for a quarterback? That's what it seems like everybody wants to do. Would you trade up for a quarterback? Mainly Kyler Murray or Dwayne Haskins. Didn't even put Kyler Murray in there. What happens if he falls? We'll see. Anyway, again, Redskins Relaunch, answers to your questions. We want to hear from you on Facebook and on Twitter and on Periscope. Get at us. We'll be right back.
This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr. Stephen Price has been practicing dentistry in Northern Virginia. A member of the American Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry.